So,
Well,
and so what other bits?
So I dropped in the mission statement and the goals. I dropped that in.
Good.
And then the bibliography, so I asked my daughter, who was a writing tutor at UMass Amherst, I said, what is Chicago style? She gave me the website.
Yeah. Chicago Manual Style website. Yep.
So I said to Robin, can you please give me your sources?
Yeah.
And then Lon will give me his sources.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you guys have any sources, your book is one source. That is, I own the book, so I'm,
Yeah.
You have the author's permission.
That's the whole, yeah.
Right.
And I've got to do the more 20th century bits.
Yeah.
Right, so that's, this is-
Which Bethany's very kindly given us a lot of.
well, I wish I had
meat to it.
photographs. We have some photographs, of some of the buildings referenced.
Well, there are a lot.
We put
There are a lot
we
of photographs in the file.
We'll
Like a
see what
ton.
we've got.
We've got a lot.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I'm
we're-
just looking at the sheet, I'm not looking
I
at
think
the
we're-
photographs.
Yeah, it's a massive amount.
I think we're probably okay.
Never mind.
Cat videos.
So are we?
I swear I'm actually working right now.
Are we then okay with the rest? Getting the appendix of the properties,
So,
the architectural thing. all
yeah,
that
I haven't
needs-
put that in there yet.
That needs wrapping up, and
but
it needs
yeah,
checking
that's
as well,
easy.
because apparently there were some mistakes in what I did.
2/2.
Two zoning,
Yeah,
two
2/2.
stuff like
Very
the
good
technical
condition.
stuff.
Well, that's the stuff that I don't know that that's important. Like,
Well, I can't
The-
edit it because
the
it
re-
came in as a PDF.
I put all of the stuff,
Okay.
no, it's, I put
Okay.
in the one I have. My point with that is the very good condition
Yeah, no,
stuff,
that-
like,
yeah.
that's so
No.
subjective.
Yeah,
No, we're-
I think you can
It's
knock
a,
that.
it's a joke.
I think
Yeah, it's an
you
internal
can,
joke,
You
yeah.
can knock
Yeah.
that whole column out.
Yeah.
Dang.
Anyway, so those, that's pretty much done, because Robin, long time ago, I took yours
Yeah.
and merged it with mine. That's a thing, can we just put in, there's no photos in that, but I don't wanna put photos in that because it will make the text teeny and illegible, we have photos of the building itself.
Yes,
So,
yes,
Yes.
yes.
No, so that's for our.
That's easy,
Right.
that's literally
We
just a
can-
copy and paste into here,
Okay.
easy to do. Most of the appendices are like that, but I'm kind of waiting on some of them mostly because they can get weird formatted if
Yeah.
we move too much.
Strange
One thing
Weirdly painted,
one
yeah.
thing I did
That
quite
was
like
weird,
about
weird
I hear
format.
was the inventory by dates and things.
That's hard to do.
No, but we.
Well, that's
because
still on there,
was
that's on the
It's on there, it was on there.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
needs to be checked, because I saw that in a previous episode, actually, it's quite, because we've got a good story in that we have a very aged
Yes,
building stock
Yes.
that are encompassed in this area. Okay, 1, 2, 3 first period houses, and I think or 2,
Post-medieval.
2 or whatever. Anyway, we have and a lot of others.
post-medieval England,
Well,
just
So-
post-medieval.
post-medieval.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
that's in that architectural inventory.
Yeah.
If we wanted to pull any data from that, like make pie charts, I can do that if we wanted
Pretty,
to. It's pretty
That
easy
can
to
be
do.
done
Yeah,
after.
right.
It's getting
Just saying,
Text is-
So mine is 2/2.
Yes, yours.
They've been remodeled, the whole house has been
well,
remodeled.
that's exactly it, right? And so many of these, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, the previous dates from here, but actually half the house dates from this age, so
Yeah.
so it gets complicated. Okay, so bibliography check. I'll do the survey results after the 17th of January.
Right,
District map,
yes.
is that
Um,
5? Can that be 5?
I have still not
Okay,
got
not yet.
Mr. Knight's thing, but I have spoken to Mr. Ferreira, who is on site now.
Okay,
And I'm going to have another check, I'm not going to see the rest of it, but it turns out also interesting, Mr. Knight used to be a select board member.
Used to own my house too. A night, yeah, a night person.
And
Very-
therefore, and was at a time, and he's actually featured in a photograph outside the schoolhouse.
Oh,
for
76?
The 76,
Oh, yeah.
to commemorate the 350
Oh, yeah.
anything. So when I get hold of him, I shall remind him of his enthusiasm to celebrate the history of the area.
I shall remind you.
He doesn't live in the house that his address is, it's his workshop. That's where all the vehicles are.
Yeah, yeah.
But John Ferrer lives, and
That's-
so I could use him to. But anyway, he's the guy who owns the bit of the salt marsh, huge area in front,
Yeah,
and of which
The yellow.
the
well, that's right, there's yellow and there's one other yellow.
other
Right,
yellows
the other-
is
yeah.
John Ferrer.
And that,
No,
no,
it isn't.
Oh, is it?
No,
Oh, I
it's
beg your pardon.
that yellow.
Yeah.
I thought that.
No,
Okay.
no.
Right, sorry.
That one, we decided that it was like a remodeled barn.
Okay,
Remember, that was like in 1906, it used to be a barn, and then it's,
okay,
yeah.
So like, right.
So
That's
this,
easy enough,
this
all right.
map I'm sending to the trustees,
I was gonna say, why is the trustees that?
because I'm sending it, yeah, because I had Robin sign the letter.
Just
Okay, gotcha.
And
we're just keep
Okay, so
going.
we're almost there, we're really close, we just wanna see if that's gonna be an in or an out property.
Right,
Okay,
and everyone else has been
once that is done,
canvassed, and Julie.
please let me know. I will need probably a couple of days
Do
to,
that.
to make this pretty and make it have a key, and I really want a better map. If anyone knows of a better map with
Yeah.
parcels on it, I really don't like using that tax map with all the, but I just,
No, it's
like, I could use Google, I don't know what people do. I can make my own if, like, I absolutely have to,
But
like,
you-
be like,
that's,
ooh, just
There
trace
must be, there
everything.
must be something out there.
Yeah,
where you
it
don't
just,
make-
that one, I can't make that better quality, and
Yeah.
that really frustrates me,
No,
so,
Okay.
There's a town.
that's what
That
I
is from that town.
That's what it is.
That
But
is,
it keeps
They
the
don't have a
parcel
better
numbers
one?
on it all the time, I can't get rid of them, and they're very in the way, I don't need the parcel numbers, I just need. So what I can do is I can do exactly what I did, is trace all of the outlines of the parcel, delete everything else, just make it a map of itself, but it won't, change.
well, like Google will give you lot lines, right?
Sometimes they're not always accurate,
Ah.
yeah. Yeah, so if there's like, I don't think recorded land will have a survey of the entire area, unfortunately. For recorded plans. But anyway, so I will need a couple of days. The other problem with doing that, unfortunately, this is my fault, is introducing a new map is, it won't be scaled properly and I'll probably have to start over. So I don't actually want to do that. Getting a new raster image to scale to exactly what I have it scaled on this is pretty near impossible.
I see.
So I might just have to make one.
To be like legible, or,
To make any of the plot lines actually match up,
yeah.
I did it specifically to that map. Yeah, scales are a problem.
okay, so on that, so just before we leave
It's
that,
gonna be a software that's the.
just before we leave
Not
that
free CAD.
subject, so you've got, in the progress report, you've got listed down who's, the things we're now outstanding with.
I don't think we have.
Anything on the study map that does not have
No, sorry,
something under the heading,
on the whole study
or on the
report.
study reports, anything that does not have something under its heading needs
Needs to
something
be
under
done,
its heading.
okay.
So I just put in quick bullets for 20th century, and I guess
Yeah,
I guess we-
Yeah, that's
the-
you.
we'll do.
the 21st century, we agreed that's going to be in the
Intro.
intro
Yeah.
as to
Why
Yes.
we're here.
why.
Why would
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
I've tried.
Yep, so Rob and I
Right,
had
so
you
we're-
for like late 19th
Yes.
and early 20th century stuff. Joy, you've got bibliography, survey, I'm doing survey, and I've got map, but yeah, okay, so if I can have, Robin, do you think it's possible to, for the map to be finalized by, I'm gonna put a date on it, by the 20th?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That way I can take that week to, because that's a short week. Martin Luther King Day.
Yeah.
By 20th.
Mhm.
Okay,
I recall that Lon had said that the Council on Aging would like a presentation,
yes.
its
so,
own presentation.
yes,
Is,
correct.
is that going to happen?
Which is just like the presentation we did for
To the planning board?
But I mean, will that,
No, for the communities,
Oh,
which is the maps thing that we said,
okay,
yes.
okay.
So that's really, yeah, it's just to bring.
so that doesn't have to be done by the 17th?
No, I think we.
it's not a
can do that
survey
separate.
related
No,
thing.
it's not.
Well, no, but I mean,
But
they might say,
We'll try, we've spoken, and also, I think the sons and daughters want us, the
Another-
community want a
another one.
presentation, for them and get one, but they're rather tardy in getting back to me.
Okay.
Okay,
Because we have some really tight deadlines right now.
Yeah.
And I feel
Yeah, so-
uncomfortable with how squishy things are.
No, we don't
Yeah.
stop those going through.
All right.
These are information.
Okay,
just like-
information only.
only.
Okay, all right.
and again, if they, if there's something that incredibly important comes out of them,
Then
when we
we'll.
get the report back from MHC, we can incorporate this.
Okay.
Okay, so.
all right, so then Rob,
me,
you got
and
that
I've
one.
got some extra
Okay, fantastic, we're done.
properties to go in.
Okay,
And you, within that though, the bylaw will go in as well.
that's an appendix,
That's an
and then,
appendix.
there's an appendix that actually sits before that one, that it's called options and recommendations for the ordinance or bylaw, for the bylaw it is. I think, like the number of members on the commission, reserving additional seats for certain people,
Yeah,
like
that's-
specific stuff that is specific to Newbury. So for instance, we might pull out some of those exemptions to specifically highlight them. I think it's like the, put it in modern lingo, the TLDR section of the bylaw. For and then the real one, the whole full one will be down below. So I'll just pull.
Because a lot of those are very specific.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
and
mean, it's
legally,
like
no one
don't
wants to read
have-
that.
No,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so that's good. Okay.
So we're looking, you want the bibliography by the 17th or by the end of this week?
Bibliography.
As soon as possible. Because we have to send this to MHC by the 29th, and that is like the absolute last day, that's a Wednesday. I'd really like to get it to them like by the end of the 27th this weekend, or even earlier. I would like to, if we can, to give us a week as a committee to individually review it. So that way we can each, do the edits, think about them,
Feedback to you.
and that's gonna take some coordination, because it's just the nature of Dropbox and our schedules and such, so, anything and everything that can be done by the 17th, have it done by the 17th. Bibliography, absolutely done by the 17th.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna shoot for Friday the 10th,
that's fantastic.
yeah.
Who's doing the introduction, the introductory piece?
I'm doing the bit that's.
Like, how do we get here?
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is.
But
And the 20th century.
in terms of, because I have kind of stepped back from the report as well, it's not my, right, it's kind of, you guys have been filling in the pieces as they go, it's a lovely thing. Which means that I am very comfortable during that week to kind of take on a little bit more of the editing, because I haven't written most of the sections. Bethany, I don't know if you feel like you'd like to do some of that too, maybe the history parts.
Like to do.
I would be happy to. I do best with a targeted
Yeah,
question and
Right.
deadline, like
right.
review,
Okay.
review this section.
Yeah.
Okay, what
I'm
I'd
not
say
good with
is,
squishy.
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
so in that vein, what I'd say is,
Which shouldn't be your job, it's just the way that my
No,
life is going right now.
understand,
But I will also say, the indigenous piece in here did not come from me, and I'm a little bit, yeah, it did not come
It's,
from me.
it was Lon that did that.
Yeah,
Lon took it
Where's
and
the
dumped
money
it.
from?
He
Okay.
took it from,
It's questionable.
Oh, is it?
We should, I mean, it's
We need to
questionable
check.
in that I'm not saying there's anything in it that I could say right now is demonstrably wrong, but
Well-
there's stuff in there that I've never heard before.
and it's not cited.
And it's
No,
not-
there's no
and that's
citation.
where- that's where I am.
no,
We-
no.
we need to
You,
check.
you said before not to have different components that aren't in the report. So
Yeah,
there
it's in
there
the
were
report.
probably
Yeah.
5 pages of indigenous
Yeah.
culture
Yeah.
things.
That like,
And
I put stuff
then
from Joel Little,
I-
stuff
Yeah.
from
No,
everyone. puts
But
stuff-
I took that out
Okay,
and just put in what Lon had written.
I don't think he'd written that. I think that came from
No,
the other person
Whatever.
that I don't know his name that he has been talking to about indigenous culture.
Oh, John, yeah, okay.
I think that's
Okay.
probably where that comes from.
Ah,
Do you,
Okay.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah, there's some-
we need to,
There's some stuff in there that's.
we need to check the source.
And
because-
and I know Lon hasn't been fantastic about doing this so far, but we need citations.
yeah, I know.
We need them
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
for those sections specifically.
Yeah, when it's
Yeah.
going to the Massachusetts Historic.
Otherwise, it's
Yeah.
just hearsay.
Yeah,
And
there's
also we're on Underground Railroad,
Yeah.
and also like
Yeah.
Okay, so who's?
So
So,
we had it
but the
then.
problem
Who's
with
gonna
that is that if it's flagged during editing, we don't really have time to change it at that point.
No, you're right.
Yeah, we
So-
need to check as long as we can attribute it.
Well,
If it's,
Do you want to
well,
rewrite
we
that
need
section?
to, we need to
Because
find
I-
out where he got it from.
Well,
yeah, we can
That's
find out
the
where we got it from. I
first
mean,
thing.
when
then-
I wrote the intro to my book, I had it was vetted by Tad Baker at Salem State, and his comment was keep it as, it should be as, this was also 12 years ago. Like it could be, my work could be double checked as well, but it's pretty broad.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
vague.
Yeah, well, it's just broad. It's,
Yeah.
it's like, about a language group rather than, saying this tribe. I mean,
Right, okay.
same with the Abenaki were here, I don't know if that's what an indigenous scholar would say today.
So
Yes,
I thought, and this was way back in the foggy recesses of my mind, that you were going to write the indigenous section.
Well, I wrote the early history section. I don't really,
Yeah.
I'm not an indigenous specialist, but I think in the
It's-
history section, I included what I had done in my book, which was just a paragraph about very general information about
Kind of what we need.
But
pre-settlement.
I think that's gone.
It is gone, that's
Is
not
it?
my writing.
Okay, so,
Oh,
no, I did that. I did that
Right.
because it,
But I can put it back in.
yes, and take out what's there.
Pre-colonial.
Because if it's not, yeah,
Yeah, okay.
because if it's not cited.
Well, and I'm also happy to be wrong. I would like to.
But if your work has been,
It has,
Vetted.
but I also don't want Lon,
Right,
if
if
Lon
this
has,
no,
can somebody who knows Lon better than I do, just.
yeah, I know it very well.
Yeah,
I know it very well, you go ahead.
When he gets
Yeah,
back
we'll-
from his ski trip.
So everything I did is under historical narrative, BGD draft.
Okay.
That's everything I did, and it
Right.
starts with 1634, and then it goes back to, no, it does not touch on indigenous history, no. Oh, no, yes, it does. There's no record of
Yep,
exactly
I
who
see.
first arrived in Newbury or when, what numbers, based on the year. Nope, that's settlement. I did not touch on the indigenous piece.
So,
That's on
so
me.
this is,
Yeah, that's under archival drafts
okay.
section.
No, dice and slice as you will.
yes.
Love, okay. Okay,
But if I edit that.
Yep.
No, but if I edit that out, is it gonna show up as edited?
if you do it on this document, on the draft, on the preliminary study report draft document, yes.
Yes, okay.
Only so long as if you open it, it doesn't say someone else is editing it.
Great.
That's the Dropbox really needs to get out of Google Drive bandwagon in terms of that.
So the work
flooding.
that I've done is there?
Should be, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And the hard thing for me is that I don't feel like I know, like he may have better scholarship than I have, I just
Yeah,
don't know
you
what
see
his
the
source is, yeah.
Well, I
So
think his point of view, I'm pretty sure I can speak for him, was that we're focusing on the Lower Green itself.
Yeah.
And he was more focused on the Lower Green than Indigenous peoples and their history.
Right, of course.
Yeah. So I think that's why, that was, I took his and just dropped it in and took out, in 1636, or that, that
Well,
kind
the
of thing.
1636 thing, I think that was the first
That was.
period part, it wasn't, I had cut out
Yeah.
the indigenous peoples. why don't I do up a little Indigenous paragraph that's pretty general and a little bit vague, and I'll send it in an email to you all, and you can tell me what you think of it
Can
after
you,
you've read what's there. And if somebody can get back to me on where Lon got
his
his information.
There's a lot of,
This is why it's so
about,
Yeah. It's
sport
not fun,
clubs.
I will say, 'cause I think it's not fun, but
And
Well, I
it
know.
takes up so much
you know,
time, and if you don't
The
do what you're
Museum of
doing
Old
it,
Newbury
Yeah.
is a huge, according to,
traffic beavers and otters along the river. So-
no, that's ancient.
I know that.
Yeah, yeah,
No, but that's all, you get my point, they don't need a lot of, it can be, as you say, condensed down to a
Yeah,
paragraph.
yeah.
I'm concerned this is going to be too weighty a
Right.
document.
right.
yeah, no, I mean, and,
So-
yeah. A quick question, just glancing at this, because I have not read the history section, through at all, actually. Are there any sources cited?
I cited mine.
No, I'm trying to see how,
Yes.
how you did them.
I just did in parentheses according to.
And then
We're looking at the Lower Green Local Historic District report, right?
preliminary
that's from-
study report
Why does it
draft.
now say September 2020? I was just looking at it.
Yeah, this is.
Oh, that's in the archive, got
Yeah.
it, okay.
Jeez
Louise.
Yeah, that's what I was trying
Okay.
to organize. So, in the parentheses, okay, so that's, I think that's just a stylistic difference.
Yes.
Chicago style, you do the footnotes, so
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it's the bottom of the page. That's why I'm just scanning through going, there's nothing at the bottom of the pages here. MLA is when you put it in the parentheses. That's, I think, a personal preference, to be totally honest.
So
I
do
find
we
it
have to
starts
make
the-
it Chicago or do
If
we?
we have to pick one or the other and go with that.
We do.
Yeah, we can't mix and match them.
All right.
Yeah, we have to keep Chicago style. I prefer personally, just because for me, this is a completely personal preference. When you have something in parentheses, it disrupts the flow of the sentence for me. So I like it as a little asterisk, and I can go down to the bottom of the page and read it.
And I hate that, and that's exactly the
So it's on the
opposite.
bottom of the page which the reference is.
And it's simply, it's just the Chicago citation, and a footnote citation is different than the bibliographical citation.
Right.
Same information, but it's actually slightly in a different order. And then you go to the bottom, and if you have multiple the same source cited 5 times, you just do ibid.
Yeah, right.
That's gonna be a problem.
It's
That's gonna be a big problem.
a completely different way, yeah.
That's gonna be a really big problem.
So if we want to do MLA,
Well, you wanted all of
you just
them
have to go,
back as a thought.
The sources are, very, sketch, you know what I mean, like, and also, how do we know where the page break, well, yeah, we can find where the page break is, but, that's gonna stink, that's really gonna stink a lot.
yeah.
We'll try and figure it out.
You don't have to worry about page break. If you go to references and insert a footnote with references, it automatically updates it when you change. But like I said, if we're not far enough along with this that if we want to change styles, we can. We just have to be consistent in it. So that's fine. I don't know honestly standard-wise if there's an industry standard for these kind of things at this point. Growing up, it was always MLA, and then when I went to grad school, it was Chicago. So.
Well, I was a Shakespeare scholar in school, and to hit the footnotes, it was so distracting.
But were your footnotes like explain the words?
Explain who, yes.
Yeah, different. Me too.
Yeah.
These are footnotes that are literally just the
We
page
don't
number
need-
reference.
We
You
don't
don't.
need footnotes.
I agree. Otherwise, yeah, you're like, okay, hold on, let me read the paragraph at the bottom of the page
Yeah.
before I go to the sentence.
And we just need the attribution to where it's sourced from, not the explaining the source.
No, it's just
We just need
author, name of
the author, right?
Name of
Book.
source,
Oh, yeah.
date, page number for
For
applicable.
example, this is one of mine.
Oh, and publisher. But for a lot of
You all need to do is put that in. Right, everyone goes,
Yeah, but I have no idea
No,
where, like, Lon got his stuff.
that is the
You know, I have no
That's
idea.
what I mean, that's the problem. So I've been saying, please insert your site
So,
sources.
right,
Get it
okay.
wrong.
Well, I will do.
It takes, I'm not gonna lie, it takes a lot of time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So so much time.
Okay, that has to go down in, we all have to.
Everyone has to insert their citation
Yeah,
sources.
we all
So
have to
in
do our
the-
bit on it.
So in the sections that are in here now, what I'm seeing is pre-colonial people in Newbury's Lower Green area, that's the part that you dropped in from Lon, right? Then it says 1635 to 1720s, this is a very short section, it's only 3 paragraphs, and it appears to be pre-colonial people. Then we go to the Newbury Lower Green, and then we're pulling out individual houses, and are we still?
It's really messed up, and that's where I wanted feedback from.
Gotcha, okay.
It's not clear to me how we're doing that, because we had originally said this period, boom, this
Yeah,
period,
we do
boom,
that.
this period, boom.
Yeah.
But it's not coming together that way.
We want the individual houses probably in the architectural bit then.
Not interwoven into
Not
like
into the
where
road.
they, okay, that's, if the narrative reads like that, if that's easier to
It may
do,
read
sure, we'll
more
have.
flowingly better, then you go architecture, and here's some comment on the individual houses.
So if we did a,
How about that?
like,
Get some out of there.
pre-colonial paragraph, 1635 to 1720 paragraph, or whatever, and then you're saying separate that from the narratives about the houses?
I don't know, I haven't read it through, does that make more
Yes.
sense to do?
I just think they are, because the houses are more describing the house, not the history. Although there's
If you-
history within it, but it is more the architecture.
If you want literally like a paragraph per century as the sort of, which is, there's not a whole lot more of that here, and then buildings, which will support all that history, are listed separately.
That's what
Does
I,
that make sense?
Is that-
that's what I
yeah.
thought. I
That
would
that
thought.
sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, I mean, we
I
can
think-
move those around, that's, they're, the
Yeah.
houses at least.
Can I do that, and then you all help me tear it apart?
Yeah.
Because that's like a page, that's not
No, it's
that's not a
not.
huge, but I won't touch the houses.
No,
Okay.
no, no, yeah, that sounds
All
great.
right, I'll do, okay, great.
Okay. But
And I'll
it's
do that,
really
I'll do
Where
that
will
at
the
the end of the week.
houses come?
Okay.
the next
The
bit.
next bit in architectural historical
Architectural.
significance.
Yeah. Architecture.
So kind of like National Registry nominations, we have like significance or history, and then it breaks it down into social history or social significance, if there is any, that's what that first section would be.
Right.
The second one would be architectural significance and
And
history,
that's-
and that's like it like has
Describe
different
the individual
houses.
houses.
They literally pulled out by their address,
And-
like we're doing.
Then the appendix would be
The
listing
the
of
The
Excel
listing.
thing,
the,
Okay.
the listing.
very good.
and that
And
has
that goes,
all of the properties in it,
Okay,
not just the ones
not
that
the
we're
ones
about.
that have been featured.
okay, all right.
So this is more like, here's a, you know, in the 19th century, the Lower Green was part of a primarily agrarian, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You know, including these farms and the.
You can mention,
Yeah.
right, mention houses,
You
but
can mention houses, but
see
then,
next
yeah,
chapter for.
Well, there was a tannery in back of Lon's house.
Well, right, I mean, there's probably cooperage, and there's.
Yeah,
Sure,
shooting,
like,
yeah.
So-
right.
And then, you know, you talk about our next century, we've got
Okay.
all the industrialization and.
I will do a
roads.
roughly chronological,
Okay.
Yeah.
like paragraph per century
Okay.
summary, and then,
And they don't have to have headings, if they kind of remind of each other and they don't want to do headings, then okay.
I kinda like the headings.
I like the headings.
I like the headings.
I like the
of, like,
headings because it moves it along.
Are there,
It
if
moves the narrative along.
Right, and there will be a bit of repetition in the fact that within the individual house description, there may be a bit of history.
Yeah, I think that's
creeping
great.
up. And
and that's fine,
but
and
it's
again,
not-
as we edit, if it's something like too
Yeah.
redundant, we
Yeah.
can edit that out,
Right.
but, yeah.
I'm also very interested in Lon's section, I'm interested in his source, because there is information there that may well be true and awesome that I just, I don't have. So.
Unfortunately,
see
he's
if we get-
away for a
Yeah.
week, isn't he?
Yeah.
Okay.
The whole
But
week.
he's he emailed.
Oh, wow, he did email me this morning, so wow.
Is he,
Yesterday.
Put it on the list, rewrite Newbury history.
I'll
Thank you,
email Lon.
It is the part that if I don't have to edit that part at all, I'd be happy.
I feel
to
so,
do
Yeah.
I feel so
I can
powerful.
edit the grammar, but I cannot do this,
Yeah.
I cannot do the content.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a very good
So-
editor,
so-
that's my problem, but
Okay.
I'm a
I
good
used to be an
writer.
editor. Yeah,
I love editing too.
yeah.
I am not
I would
that,
be a good copy editor.
not that good at it.
Except for
So I
some of
need
my
you to
comments.
edit
I read
what
comments
I,
like
my
legal perspective, not
intro
from a.
thing is. I need you to edit my intro thing because one can make sort of inflammatory statements about the destruction of
Oh, yeah,
property, but I think one needs to
yeah.
tame it, which is
Yeah.
what I.
Okay.
Anyway, but that's
Yeah.
only going to be one. Okay.
You wanna be strong without being inflammatory.
Gotta take all the expletives
Yeah.
out.
I'll email
Only
Rob
one
where we
explanation,
got that from and get back to you straight away.
Yeah,
Do that
but-
straight
Alright, so end of the
But if
week,
we don't hear from him
No,
with
but
a
I,
good source, then it's gonna be, the source will be me and my book.
yes.
Right.
Yes,
correct.
Yes.
yes,
Okay, I'll do that straight away.
good.
Okay, I think we're.
Pull out
Very,
architectural bits and just
very
pop them all
close.
together in one
Good.
section. Just-
Great.
Yeah. Don't, you know, don't put them next to each other.
I'm probably just going to, again, this is, if it's okay, I'll write the chronology and leave the rest untouched. Leave the house part,
Right,
leave the house part
Yeah.
untouched, so you all can format it the way you want.
Houses, yes,
We've
but
done-
what about the other, like, interwoven, as they're interwoven bits now, like the.
Oh, yeah, I'll pull some of those out, but
Thank
I'm not
you.
gonna touch any of the description
No,
of
no,
houses.
no, don't touch them, yep,
That's
as long as
what-
they're like then just next to each other, literally on a
Yeah.
page,
Yep.
delete all the other stuff.
Yep.
Yes, that's.
And you're gonna be able to see my track changes anyway, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we can undo it if I do something terrible.
Sure, okay,
That'll try.
okay.
Explanatory statement.
Okay,
Right, okay, so
um,
we know our tasks.
yeah,
Yeah.
justification of boundaries, this is one that we don't have, yet. Why are these boundaries chosen?
Go in the intro bit.
It's a little bit actually after, there's a different section specifically called justification of boundaries, so yes, it may be referenced in the beginning, but it's right before the district map, and it is, this section should not just be a description of the proposed boundaries. It
No,
needs to make it
it's
clear
why.
why the boundaries were chosen
Okay,
and
sure.
why surrounding properties were excluded.
I'm prepared to put pen to paper to write it out first and
Okay.
then shoot
Yep.
it around
Yep.
for critique.
Please do that.
Okay.
Yep. And then I will.
By when, right? We need dates,
Yes,
right?
you're right, we do. Dates.
That's
dates
quite
are
an
fantastic.
important one because that's got to go
I
in.
don't think it has to be long,
So-
it's maybe like a
No,
40
no.
or anything.
Well, it was the approach,
Yes.
the
Yeah.
approach,
So I do-
the approaches
Yeah.
to the.
And we have those pictures already in terms of our study cloud area, study area. Those are already things, we will put those images in there. Like, these are all the properties we looked at. And then these are the ones we narrowed it down to. And then these are the ones we excluded for very specific reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Okay,
cool.
alright, so I'll, yeah,
When
put
can
me
you
down
reasonably do that?
for that by, well, the 17th, or is that too soon, too late? I can do it.
Okay.
Bruce,
We'll draft.
what's the date
We did
today?
it just
Today's the 6th.
6th, 12th.
before your anniversary.
What?
Okay, never mind.
Inflammatory?
Yeah.
Okay,
Zip.
any other sections that we need to?
Hold on, let me, I'm going through that section.
Talk about?
Justification boundaries by 17th, latest, or 14th,
Yeah,
or
17th latest.
Okay,
Definition.
I will add cloud, no, study area. For those.
I'll get my little paragraph to you by the end of the week. hopefully.
Fantastic. Yep, and week, by.
Is there anything else that you
Justification
need me to,
boundaries.
you need a particular amount of?
Through district map we have, I just need the, yeah, so it literally says things that I need on
Just
boundaries,
boundaries.
parcel boundaries, street names,
Significance.
building footprints for all buildings and parcels inside and outside the district. Well, I have to use the tax map then. I'm not, there's no way I'm gonna be putting those on an individual map myself, so that's unfortunate, man. Other people's maps on other of these study reports are gorgeous. I don't know where they get them from.
Well,
That is unfortunate. All right, and then, yeah, you need,
Oh, I think
you need
they
street
have
numbers and
Consultants
or,
who do this, that
Yeah.
are being paid,
Yeah.
that's right.
and or assessors parcel numbers.
Follow the
I
map.
have to use the tax assessor map because they literally have to have the tax, the
Property
parcels on them,
yeah.
the parcel numbers on them. Oh, man, that makes my keys so much more
If
difficult.
known historic name and property architecture style.
Okay, so it's that. Yeah, property index is the one we have.
Yeah.
That's good. We don't have parcel IDs for most of them because most of them are not on Macros.
I don't think that we have all of the architecture. I mean, Stephen Lisa's, I don't think is on there.
We don't need all of it.
Yes, I did put that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I
Okay.
It's in the part, we have all of the architectural property index, that would definitely have all of
Well,
them.
in the index, but I mean,
We
descriptions.
don't need them for all of them.
Okay, we don't,
We're
all right,
not gonna do that.
okay.
No,
I
because
don't,
did-
yeah,
I
just
did
pulling
know.
out.
No, but I meant the descriptions.
Yeah.
You know, like a paragraph of that.
It was picked up the most
Yeah,
important,
we don't
and then
yeah.
the ones that we use definitely,
I
I thought we
did-
could write easily.
I've done those.
Okay,
I've actually done those anyway. And
Okay.
I've got them to come back to
oh, good.
critique it.
Oh, but it's not in the thing,
No,
because you can't get it.
I saw you, I gave you permission today, and you.
Yeah, I did, yes, thank you.
And then options and regs for bylaw, check, and then ordinance or bylaw text, check, and then bibliography, check, and digital images, at least 10. We have those kind of interspersed, I guess we could throw 10 more in there.
Well, I put, so Lon put an old photograph of his house
Yeah,
in his.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I had kind of a, I don't know, maybe a 25-year-old picture of mine that I threw in.
Yeah, I saw
It's
there's
not
a
an
couple
old
photos.
one,
Well, we
but-
had that whole file of photos.
Yeah,
I guess we could certainly throw, some, we've got like the aerial shots, we've got
yeah,
the
Yeah.
interesting photos, just at least throw 10 of them into the digital images.
yeah.
I think
Wait, into the digital images,
there's a,
you mean within the, no, I know those, but you mean of the properties?
of anything, they can be of properties, they can be of Lower Green at large, they can be of Parker River, they
Yes.
can be of old industry.
Insert them
There's a section of the report literally called
See,
digital
in the
images.
in the text.
The D6 label slides that demonstrate the overall character and context of the proposed district.
But I mean, like,
It's
with the
just-
property,
Right here.
Yeah.
okay. Oh, yes,
It's almost
yes,
like a
that's
appendix.
right, that's
You can
right.
add any of them
Yeah.
into the text.
I was
if you want.
thinking of the folder on,
Yeah.
yeah,
No, I'm saying
yeah,
at least 10 clear images.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean,
Please, and label the photographs with
Yeah.
the street addresses. So make sure
Okay.
they have captions, label them as you input them.
I mean, we've got the classic old one.
And they need to be both streetscapes and individual representative buildings. So I think we got at least 10. Doesn't need to go overboard, but, and that's the last thing. So yeah, I will leave, I think to you guys to do that. Pick the pretty ones. We've got plenty.
You.
Okay.
I think that is it. And then it's things.
That's quite enough.
It is
It's a
serious.
lot
There is a
by,
lot.
you know, the 17th is, ah!
Okay.
Yeah, and then summary sheet, which
Yeah, I
I
might
have.
see if I can bang some of this up tonight.
Okay.
Thinking about it
Okay.
tomorrow.
Comments from the audience?
No audience, no additional
No, none,
business.
none,
Additional
no
business.
Public comments. Additional business. We mentioned that we've saw the Newbury Committee for Open Spaces,
Yeah, that was in the minutes.
which is in the
Yeah.
minutes. And
From
I've
last
gone back,
Oh.
he has not come back
Oh,
with
he
any
hasn't.
comments at the
Ah.
moment or anything
Okay.
relative. So,
Okay,
but he's acknowledged he wants to be informed about how things are going on.
just kept updated.
Because there is a long-term plan that Newbury are trying to sort out for their open spaces, of which the Lower Green's one, and they are very supportive of our initiative.
Lower Green and the town dock,
And
the town.
is
yeah.
considered an
So
open space.
when we were, can I just get back to that, where you said parking lots have to be reviewed? So there's that huge dust bowl in front of the Dole Little House. So anything, it's a parking lot, so anything that is done there needs to go before the,
Open space.
no, the historic,
That's a good question,
Oh,
because,
yeah,
because
because-
it says,
yeah.
it says anything at grade is not. So driveways, if someone wants to repave their driveway or add a terrace or
no,
put in
it's
a
the
brick.
parking lot.
But, yes, then it does say that parking lots do need to be reviewed. So I think that would be, I mean, if it's already a parking lot, then
Yes.
no,
Okay,
because it's pre-existing.
but it's like in really cruddy, you know,
Well, if they need to repave it, then they repave it, but that's not like a new structure.
oh, I see
Right?
what you mean, okay,
So, yeah,
yes,
they're already
okay.
existing,
Okay,
grandfathered
good.
in sort of thing. That reminds me, before I forget, there was something you said earlier regarding the bylaw about we should specifically call that out, and now I'm forgetting what it was about, and it was important. Like, that pre-existing thing, the structure.
Right.
I'm
Yes.
missing that.
Except not use the word grandfather.
Yes, yeah, but you know what I mean.
Grand person.
Exactly.
Grand.
Structures,
For
and
person.
features,
Well,
and buildings,
Right, so it's, they're bell jarred as of the moment when they.
are not,
I hasten to add on the question of that parking. It was pointed out by a member of the public at our meetings that the parking lot in front of the dollhouse
Yeah.
was always a grass lot. And it was only in the 20th century when some contractor ended up with a truckload of rubble that some bright spark just said, oh, let's dump it there. And it has been a mess ever since. But it was actually,
that's so
and it was pointed out that you can have grass also, and you can park on them because the ground's pretty good without it chewing up everything.
Yeah, we did it at SPL quite a bit.
Yeah. So
It does chew stuff
and
up.
it was suggested to go back and say, well, why don't we, instead of trying to fight the,
Just someone go out there and just like throw some clover around.
yeah,
Just-
right. So just as an aside,
Yeah.
anyway, that's,
Yeah,
That's
So right,
discussion
and that's,
for
and
another.
that's the question with that is just the material of the parking lot, which we don't, it will not be reviewed, right? But it's still
Right.
part
no,
of
no, it's not.
Yeah, because it's pre-existing.
Right.
Okay, right,
But if Lower Green wanted to be turned into a parking lot,
that's.
obviously it would be reviewed.
Yeah.
Actually, that has been addressed, because people did used to park on the Lower Green, and that has been addressed. The
See?
Kennys,
Oh, yeah.
went before the
Yeah.
select board
Yeah.
and said it's killing the trees
Yeah,
and blah, blah,
yeah.
blah, and so you can't park on,
the group.
Park
on the
along
grass
though.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Right,
Cool.
okay, so, no additional business, no public comments. We've got our
Next meeting?
assignments, I propose.
Next meeting?
Adjourn.
Next meeting.
No, next meeting.
Next meeting, sorry. I think we ought to have one relatively quickly. That's,
I would agree. Unfortunately, my schedule does not allow for me to meet until February 10th.
February 10th then.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I can do February
Let me check to make sure. The select board does not have a training going on that day.
Just delete it.
What is that, February 10th?
Yeah, it's another Monday.
So is it free?
As of now, yeah. Select
Put
board
it in
meeting on
bold.
Tuesday.
Put it in bold.
I can't. There's nothing on any Mondays. That's why we tend to do Mondays.
10th. It's good for me. Right, but we've,
Okay.
5:30 again?
Yes.
we've got a lot to do before.
And
So
emailing, we
survey.
can send stuff
Yeah,
to
yeah,
one
yeah.
of each other.
Yep.
For
What?
review.
Just one?
Just one,
Not
not
a-
a quorum.
Oh, yes,
Look at
yes,
what the meeting
yes.
was.
Yes, sir.
But if you want that second eyes, doesn't mean we can't talk about anything or make progress, please make progress. Because that is after when we need to have submitted this to MHC.
Right.
Okay.
HD.
Okay, motion to adjourn meeting.
Second?
All in favour?
Aye.
Hi.